Wow, wow, wow. The World Championship team trials. Unbelievable. Jordan Burroughs, David Taylor, two incredible performers, legends in the sport, absolute legends in the sport. Jordan Burroughs, the GOAT, back on the team. David Taylor, the most electrifying wrestler that this world has ever seen, is back on the team, pinning Valencia in the finals. Unbelievable. And again, Jordan Burroughs coming back, beating Chance Marsteller after last year's setback against him. Really unbelievable, the great adjustments that he made, and he spoke about it in that heartfelt interview right after about how hard he was crying the last 6 months, how absolutely hard and heart-wrenching it's been for him to come back after the Penn State team. I mean, the Penn State wrestlers, the crowd, the fans. It's not all of Penn State, but in total, over at the Nittany Lions, over at the Olympic Training Center, at the Olympic trials. It was a disgrace what we saw. And that one guy who kept saying, "You're done, you're finished, you're through." A guy who's probably never accomplished anything in his life. I don't even know why he was in the building. Whoever let him in, he shouldn't be allowed back in after that. Maybe that's taking it a little bit extreme. Sure, people have freedom of speech, but that was nuts. We could all agree upon that. Man, so David Taylor coming back, going back to his old ways. He might not even wrestle in the World Championships. He said he was just there because, man, he didn't like the way he went out against Aaron Brooks. And I believe it, too. I mean, he said that it's been hard to stay motivated these last couple years, taking nothing away from Aaron Brooks. He's an Olympic bronze medalist. The guy's world class. And on a different day, he could have won the whole Olympics. I'm not taking anything away from him. But as far as him feeling like he never actually got to his offense and wrestled the way that he could have, and also that being at Nittany Lions, that had to be a hard thing at the Olympic trials. So David Taylor being able to come back, that was awesome. And he even said he doesn't even know if he's wrestling at the Worlds. Now, I think that's more David, bless his heart, he has to say that. He now has a job. Now the guy's a millionaire. I think. I don't know how much he's actually being paid. I'd assume he's being paid $1 million, or he will be over the course of his stint in Oklahoma State. And now it's like, here he is. He's coaching a team. Which, remember, when I spoke to Kenny Mundy about this, and he said that was a bold move for Oklahoma State to hire David Taylor right out of college, or right out of right after competing. That was a bold move. But this day and age, especially with the popularity and the NIL, and like kids like that, kids like to be a part of something. And really, Penn State was the hot ticket. And now Oklahoma State looks like they're the hot ticket because you got a young staff there, not only Taylor, but Gilman and Kennedy. And when you look at it, it's like, not obviously John Smith and the coaching staff here, they were legends too, but sometimes there's something exciting about the new breed, right? The new breed is coming to town. And David Taylor wanted to show his wrestlers, hey, this is how you wrestle. And I said, like, that's awesome. When you have young kids like Jordan Burroughs, you got his son Beacon who's wrestling, you got David Taylor who's coaching a team, and it's like, you look back in your head, like, wouldn't it be great, like, as my kids are wrestling, if I was able to be out there to compete, and then you look at them, you're like, that's how it's done. And I think every parent understands that, has been frustrated with their kids and the way they wrestle. You want to get off the mat and be like, that's how it's done. And God bless those guys. And it's not just them, it's other wrestlers too, of course. But, they definitely stole the show, Jordan Burroughs and David Taylor. And, they could look at their kids and say, that's how it's done. And even to the point where Jordan Burroughs, during that emotional interview, you see he's talking to the camera, and all of a sudden he hears it get loud. You could see his eyes get a little distracted. He looks over like, hey, what's going on over here? And then he couldn't ignore when the crowd erupts, because that was during the time where Zahid Valencia was getting pinned by David Taylor in that cradle, and I knew that wasn't good. As soon as he shot into the leg like that, you just don't go there against David Taylor. And it's hard because, like, Taylor's trying to put you there, and you're a good wrestler. Valencia's a great wrestler, taking nothing away from him. It's like, sometimes you just get in these positions against really good wrestlers. So he found himself in that position, and I said, man, this match is over. And sure enough, he rolled him through and pinned him. And Burroughs' eyes now he hears the crowd, and he looks over, and he's like, yeah. He's like, you can't. He stopped mid-sentence of what he was saying to the cameraman, who he was just announcing with a few months ago in Paris. The guy who was announcing with in Paris, that's who was interviewing him, which is awesome. It's like they're guest commentators together, and now here's the guy interviewing Burroughs for making the world team. And heartfelt Burroughs interview, his eyes looking over, and he's like, you have to win the first match against David Taylor. You have to, otherwise you're done. If you don't win that first match, you're done. And he shook his head, and he's like, yeah, that can't happen. And the funny thing about that is, Jordan Burroughs was a real thorn in the side for David Taylor, along with Kyle Dake, for quite a few years, where that was a time where Taylor could have been putting up world and Olympic medals, if not the gold. Maybe Burroughs is a little bit ahead of him at that time, but he definitely could have been putting up world medals. And when you look at it with with David Taylor, there's literally only a handful of people in this entire world that have any answer at all whatsoever for David Taylor at all, like even a little bit. Again, I'm not saying that it's not possible for a guy like Valencia to beat him. It's not saying it's impossible for some of these other guys to beat him, but I'm saying someone who really has a good answer for David Taylor. Most of those guys aren't even in Taylor's weight, right? You look at it like Burroughs, Dake, Yazdani, Brooks. I don't know really anyone who could contest David Taylor. And because he's a pinner, he has so many tools. So he doesn't know if he's going to the Worlds. But like I said, I think that's him saying that. I mean, I'm sure he is genuine that he doesn't know if he's going to the Worlds. But remember, this is a $1 million professional now. He has to check in with his administration. Because even though I do think they will ultimately let him do it, like how are they going to be? Like then Oklahoma State, who comes in is really like the good guys, then they kind of look like the bad guys. Okay, you're not letting your guy compete in the Worlds. Not that if you're a decision, I know as a business owner, you can't make decisions based on popularity, but you do have to have an eye on it, right? You can't be oblivious to what, the pulse of the world going on around you is saying. You can't just do whatever you want. So no matter who you are, you have to work with the world a little bit. And the reality is he's employed by Oklahoma State. So he does have to bring that up to them and see if they'll essentially allow him to do that. I think they will. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think David Taylor would like to go out on top. I'd love to see Taylor and Burroughs go out, get another gold. Will they leave the shoes on the mat? I don't know. Because Burroughs even said if he goes out and he medals at this World Championship around Halloween, I think it's around Halloween. He said he doesn't know if maybe he'll continue. It's just these guys just love the sport, and that's what you love to see, guys who love the sport. And they all do. So like I said, we're not putting down any of their opponents at all. Marsteller was awesome. Dieringer left his shoes on the mat. Awesome. That was a match where it was concerning. Like how is Burroughs going to do with him? That's going to be a tough one. And he was able to stand the test, JB. So hats off to him. And then Vito. Man, Vito wrestled great. And against up and coming Marcus Blaze. And you look at it, it's like only 17 years old, high schooler. Man, if you could ball, you could ball. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what age you are, right? LeBron made the pros when he was in college. A lot of people do it. People do it in other countries. Amita Lure, who just won, World Olympics and all the things she's won at a young age. So it can be done by top people. If you're good, you're good. And like Vito even said, Marcus Blaze just went through in one day pretty much all the wrestlers who's been giving him trouble the last 3 years. So hats off to him. That guy's got a bright future. Vito wasn't surprised. He said he really did believe that Marcus Blaze could come out the other end and wrestle him, and he wrestled him really tough. And, Vito's saying he's, shaking out the rust a little bit. He hadn't been on the mat for 3 months, which is a testament to how good of a wrestler he really is. But we know, like, he's a guy, he's a mindset guy, right? We're partnered with him. Vito believes in mindset. He believes in the importance of being mentally and emotionally ready. You could even see the face he made. I think Flow Wrestling did a real good job of capturing this when you see him like he blew it all out. He's a mental and emotional guy in terms of preparing himself. And it's not just Vito. It's all these guys, right? I mean, we're partnered with a lot of the top wrestlers this year with Vito, Yanni, John Paz, Shane Van Ness, Bo Bartlett, and others. These guys are taking time to focus on their mindset. It's no joke. I mean, I'm going to be doing a show with Shane Van Ness pretty soon. I wrote to him the other day and I said, well, how's 8 o'clock at night on Wednesday for doing a show together? And he said, I can't do anything past 7:30 at night because it disrupts my sleep plan. Think about that. Shane Van Ness saying he doesn't want to do a show past 7:30 at night because he doesn't want it to disrupt his sleep plan. These guys are all business. They're dead serious. And if you want to even give yourself a remote chance against these people, you have to do everything right. You can never assume, I have enough talent. Right? And it's not saying don't feel like you do need to feel for confidence that you are a talented person and I'm capable of getting the job done. But you never want to go in thinking, I got enough talent. I can make mistakes in life. There's always someone out there. Always someone out there. Always. So that was great. Like I said, Vito coming through in the clutch. That was great. Speed, quickness. He knows how to wrestle. He's not going to exert himself in situations where he doesn't have to. Right? That's not it either. So, like I said, these guys are great. Awesome Olympic trials. Then, You have 44 years old making the Greco team. How about that? Giving a big shout out to Poway. We've worked with Poway for many years on one of our teams, and his son's Fargo champ. So we're talking about these are people, no matter what age you are, doesn't matter. I mean, 44? Are you kidding? And they said, well, how does your body feel? And he made the comment, it feels like 44. But he said, age is just in your head. Like you can't think about that. If you still have the joy for wrestling and you still have the love, you got to keep doing it. Jakar Winchester back again. She's a defending world champ. A few years ago, she could get it done again. All of our team, we really have a shot to win these world championships. I think for freestyle and for women's, we got a chance. Greco, we got to make some changes. We got to make some changes if we're going to be competitive in the world. It's not easy out there. It's not, and really, you see, Japan's not backing down. Japan, and we did this series on Japan. They're constantly bringing their best. All these other teams are bringing their best, so we got to be at our best too. Like I said, awesome interviews from these guys. Great matches. Jordan Burroughs just lifting up Marsteller in the air. It was like, that was great. And then hats off to Marsteller for wrapping him so tight, taking him all the way through. It was great to see. It was great to see all these guys. So let's keep up the good work. Let's go out there and get a world championship. I mean, our world team is going to be stacked. Vito, who's defending world champ. James Green beating Pantaleo twice. Pantaleo's won international competitions. He's wrestled real well overseas. So and he wrestled real well in this tournament. And then for James Green to come out and dominate him in the first match and then beat him in the next one, man. Multiple-time world medalist James Green is going to be back. He's looking like a champ. Jordan Burroughs, Olympic champ, he's back. And David Taylor, Olympic champ, he's going to be back. We got a good chance to win this world championships. So hopefully all of our guys are in, and we can bring it home. All right, we're looking forward to a great NCAA season, great high school season. Make sure you sign up for our Mastermind group that's going to be during the season coming up now. Well, starting in December, January, and February, every single week, Monday night at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be running a mastermind for select people. Only a few people we're going to be doing this now. And this is going to be myself running the group, and you're going to get direct mindset training from Vito, Yanni, Paz, Bo Bartlett, Shane Van Ness, and others. Our hammers are coming on the call. They're going to coach you. I'm going to coach you too. So if you want the best coaching there is, the best mindset coaching available, and these top experts on one call, you jump on. We had serious wrestlers on last year. There were good people on the school, and people from, and not just serious meaning that they've already achieved a certain level, but people who are even on their way up. Elementary school, middle school, high school, college. Guys who want the edge. They were jumping on, so you need to jump on too. It's going to be every Monday, December, January, and February, and right now there's a deal. $500 off. It's a $2,000 program. You buy now, $1,500. You're not just getting coached by me, you're getting coached by our hammers. So let's make that happen. Mindset makes the difference. Have a great day.